What up, fam? So, looking at my fuel lines last night. Went to fire up the old girl and was spraying fuel everywhere. That's fucking weird. So I took off this, heat shielding stuff that I had that protect the lines, from heat, and was looking at them. And apparently, when my fuel line, where'd it go? When my fuel line got hot, it decided that it didn't want to hold any fuel no more. Roasty, toasty little marshmallow deal there. Got some nice holes in it, so it's your nylon fuel line for you. Doesn't like heat. So, oops. That's partially because I had a little fire under there. Fire doesn't do too good with nylon and, combustible materials. So, I'm going to replace that today. And I'm going to show you guys how you can do this stuff cheap. Went to my Amatrons and got me another spool of this nylon fuel line. It was $12 and I got here in 12 hours. So that's kind of neat. Got to shout out to Amazon Prime. They're always a prime dealer for stuff. Yeah, so this stuff I always love to use in swaps because it's really easy to use. It's light, it's cheap. $12 and I got 10 foot. You can do the 25 foot to do whole front and back, and I don't know, I think you're out 18, 20 bucks, something like that. Well, instead of spending $500-600 on a fuel setup with AN fittings and fucking braided, gold plated fucking lines, you can get some cheap shit and make it work easy. And that's what I'm all about, old recycled shit. So what I like doing is head over to the old junk yards, see if I can find one in here. Get these little doodads that, I don't know if you have one right now. This is on the car. They got little fuel line ends that you can, little quick disconnect jobs that are metal, and pretty much all the newer cars have them. And you slice the little nylon, lengthwise down the side there, and you pop that little bad boy out. And, kind of like this, but this is an aftermarket one with little threads on the end. But, you get one of those little guys and it's got the barbs on it. You can just press that little guy down inside this line and you got yourself a factory looking line. You really get Gucci with it. Buddy of mine's got a shop and he's got these little, you see that there? These little crimp-on fucking connectors. That's what's supposed to be on there. And you put them little guys on there. Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. I like to run them for peace of mind, but sometimes I forget to put them on before I make my lines, and I don't have any today, so I'm not going to be running them with those. So I'll show you guys how to use this little guy. Couple tools from around the house that I had here a second ago. Alright, I don't know where it went. So caulk gun, I'll show you that in a minute. You ladies are getting kind of jealous out there for a caulk gun, but no, it's for home caulking. A little caulk gun and a little brake line flare clamp thing. You get little universal AutoZone clamps. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use a caulk gun, and I'm going to press one of these fittings in here, show you guys how to do that. Alright. Got the exhaust in, got the exhaust welded up, replaced my fuel lines, which were all jacked up, getting burned and holes in them, so replace them. Also removed this little fuel filter I had in there. This is what I was originally using as a fuel filter. I got it at the auto parts store. It's threaded on one side and quick disconnect on the other. Had a little thread end job that I had some fittings on, and I stuck a little barbed adapter in there for my nylon lines, and it's made my little fuel filter. Running a Corvette fuel filter now that's on the rail since I went to an NNBS or a TBSS type intake. So I didn't need two filters, so I took one out. Just ran a barb, one of those little adapter jobs. I got one in here somewhere yet. These little adapters. It's barb to barb, so you can push your nylon fuel line on there and hook two lines together. So got one of those. in place of what was that fuel filter, and ran that 3/8 line from my feed side all the way back to my tank. So I now have the fuel lines going to the tank all tidied up. I got the exhaust ran pretty good. I'm happy with the, see if I can get you down there. I'm happy with this side, the driver's side. Got a little mount on there that I made. I'll show you guys that in a minute. And not happy with where this passenger side is, so I'm going to have to cut that little guy off and move it around a little bit. But figured I'd fire this bad boy up so you guys can hear what it sounds like. Let's go do that. Sounds pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the tone. Kind of mellow till you get on it, and it's got that kick. So pretty happy with that. We'll play around with the pipes a little bit more probably tomorrow. Next time make another video. So with that, fix that passenger side pipe, and I think next time it'll be the fuel filler area. You see I kind of put my little filler job on there, but I still need to get my plate. I got my plate with a little flip up bracket, and that's going to go here, and a little flip up so I can get in there and fill the gas tank. But I don't like this thing sitting just on the surface, so I'm going to have to make a little box and recess that in a little bit, French-ate or whatever, just so it's kind of more smooth. I want to make sure that when you're looking down the trunk lid, it's even with the plate, and then pops that little guy up, and there's my filler. So that'll be the next video. Y'all take it easy. Got the exhaust finished up. Got a dog barking in my ear. She doesn't like the loud exhaust. I leave her inside, she drives her life mad. So every time I go on a ride, I get to listen to this. Great. So, exhaust is back up. Got the rear end back in. Got everything welded. Got the shocks mounted. Got the shackles mounted. Got the leaf springs and everything hooked up. Didn't do the sway bar because it looked like I had enough room for that. So I'm going to take this thing for a little test drive. See what it